1. He has tied the late Kobe Bryant for the second highest scoring game in the history of the NBA. And hear it from the crowd, and we feel you at home.
Man, I wish I could relive it twice. I credit God, my family, man, my teammates, this crowd, and they kept feeding me the ball.
I wanted to give a little bit of time before I discuss this about Bam's 83-point game. But, I'm sure I put a couple clips to start this video just to remind you guys we're a little bit over 2 weeks, little under 2 weeks since it happened. By the time you probably see this, it will be a little over 2 weeks or past that. And I got to start off by saying what Bam was able to do a few weeks ago was impressive. Being able to put up 83 points in an NBA game is a feat that only one other NBA player, allegedly, that we know of has been able to do. So first, I don't want to get lost in that fact of it, is that it was an impressive feat first. But there's much to be had. You probably saw the thumbnail and you probably read the caption for this video. Everything that's wrong about this 83-point game. I think that we had to separate something clearly in this, is that it's okay to note that what happened, what we saw in that game was a flat out impressive feat. We may never see this again in our lifetime, and we could appreciate it. But we also could note that what we saw happen in the fourth quarter was nasty work, right?
Curry steps back. Bang!
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
So, I think that that's okay to say, right? First half, Bam was in fuego, right? I'm literally in Vegas for a work conference. I'm sitting there, and I have my boss to the left of me, another big fan. I'm getting the buzzes. We're sitting in dinner, not a TV in sight. Bam has 31 in the first quarter to Bam has 42 in the end of the second quarter to by the time the third quarter rolls around, he has 60 points. I posed a question to him. Does he get to 81? And he said, I'm sure he's going to try it. And that's exactly what he did. But again, to that point, I think that we can have a mindset of knowing that these two things as mutually exclusive. What we saw him do to put up 83 points in a game is impressive, but how they went about it in the fourth quarter was something that was nasty work, right? You also can acknowledge that they were playing the Wizards, right? No shade to the Wizards when I say this, but we know the competition that they're going after or that they're playing in this game. This is a team that is tanking. This is a team that is not putting their best foot forward. So we kind of expect them to go into the game not really giving it their all, right? One thing also I wanted to acknowledge, and this is actually where I think the discourse should be heading towards about everything that is wrong with this game, is we got to acknowledge that in the NBA that we have a true hater culture. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've been a part of that. I clearly have been a part of it. I'm going to tell you, when the game ended, my first inclination, my first feeling, our visceral feeling to it was, what the hell? He cheated his way to this. It doesn't feel right. Kobe would never do this, blah, 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 right? And I talked to a friend about it, and I was like, yeah, no, it was nasty work what happened, right? And again, I can acknowledge that the fourth quarter was nasty work, but he was like, enjoy this moment in history, right? And I sat on that for a couple of days, and I realized, he's so right. Is in the NBA, we allow a lot of things to pass us by, a lot of historical moments to pass us by, just by the nature of how the culture is to naturally just denigrate everything, right? And if you go on Twitter, you look at the discourse that was directly right after he made this feat, you will see people just piling on and on and on about this. Obviously, it's the internet. You don't take it too serious, but it helps perpetuate these thoughts, right? And there was always a nature of that with sports. There's always going to be a nature of that with sports. But I think the reason why I'm saying that it's an issue now in my mind about the culture of it being infested all the way through the NBA is that this energy isn't something that is just being housed or reverberating around fans. It's something that's shifting to the players and the coaches. I'll show you a couple clips right here just to speak to what I'm saying.
If you saw that Bam Adebayo had 83 points tonight, I'm sure you know Bam. What are your thoughts on that and such a historic night?
Yeah, I mean, first thing you think is how, because of, not because of him, but because of the way he plays, And I saw only made 6 threes, but 40 free throws or something like that. Tells the story right there. And the Washington Wizards.
Vic, did you see Bam had 83 tonight? And does that give you any inspiration to go for some of the bigger scoring numbers in league history?
Yeah, I saw. I think we're playing a league where there's plenty of inspiration to look up to. But yeah, I saw.
Well, one, I'm going to say it's definitely legendary, the box score, right, the number. But and shout out to Bam, right? He's just implemented himself in history. And I'm kind of salty that he bested Kobe. It's one of my favorite players for sure. But I'm going to just say this, man. Joel did it efficiently, and he did it in 3 quarters.
But there's still some real ones out there that celebrate greatness, right? And I got to commend KD and LeBron. LeBron on the Twitter aspect sent in his shout outs. Brunson was another one that sent out his shout outs right after it. And then KD, right? He got on the podium and he congratulated Bam for what he was able to do, right? And I guess the biggest point of contention that goes into this conversation is how do you hold up this game up against Kobe, right? Kobe's 81, and there's people that make, like I said, jokes that was being reverberated around Twitter around, oh, he should have had some respect for Kobe and just stopped before he got to 81. Maybe he should have sat out. They should have stopped foul baiting, try to find his shot rather than just like to the line and getting it there. Having 43 attempts from the free throw lines is going to sully the fact that he has this. And I think that we have a way of just not even just in the NBA, just in sports in general. We have that nostalgia that gives us that feeling that something that we watched in the past was a lot better than what we've seen in the present. So I take a look at the 81-point game with Kobe, right? You speak on some of the similarities on this game, right? 2 random ass league pass games, right? No one was paying attention to Kobe in that time. Hey, I know I said no one was paying attention to Kobe in that time. I meant to say the Lakers. Kobe was having almost an MVP season in 2006. I just wanted to put this in there because I know somebody will probably be on my ass about it in the comments. So just letting you guys know that was a legendary year for Kobe. If my memory serves me well, the Lakers were just a fringe playoff team that year, right? Or they didn't even make the playoffs. And if they don't, you'll see a graphic I will show you both of where the Lakers were and where the Heat are during this run and show you all the similarities, right? So you have a fringe playoff team, right? Then you have both of them were doing everything to get their teams into the playoffs. You see Bam a couple of weeks ago literally saying he's tired of losing, he's tired of being in the play-in, and he's doing everything to get his team into the playoffs. Kobe was in that same phase in his career with Shaq departing in the way that he departed and leaving the team with less than a stellar team around Kobe. Kobe had to do everything to carry that team to look the way or compete to be even a fringe playoff team, right? But there is one, major difference between the two is the league validating Kobe when he did it, right? Kobe was also foul baiting. He was also getting double team and triple team at that point. The game was over when he kept on piling it on. So these are things that they're saying about the Bam game, but was not something that the Kobe game lacked, right? Like, I begged everyone to go and try to find more footage, like actual footage of this game, and realized there's a lot of similarities in how this game played out, right? Because once you're up against the face of history, I'm sure you're going to go for it. And anybody that says that he should have stopped at 81 or before 81, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit, and I want you to give me your reasons why you think that's not bullshit, because I'm calling bullshit. If I had that chance to go and put up more than 81, I'm going to go fucking do it. I'm just going to go fucking do it. So, but as I say, I digress and I go back to my main point is Kobe got that validation from the league when he did it. And in turn, the fans followed suit, right? So all of his counterparts, there's countless videos that goes to show all of the stars around the league except the feat that Kobe did at that time. The opposite is you look at the league. I just showed you guys a clip of what that looked like in moments after the game of brothers, his fraternity brothers in this league, saying and slighting him in such a way to say that it's not as impressive as you think it would be. And I think that that's a problem. I really do think that that's a problem. I leave you guys with this at the end of this video is personally, close your eyes, put yourself in Bam's shoes. You know what? Forget about put yourself in Bam's shoes. Imagine in your life if you did something of meaning, and the first thing that comes out of people's mouth is other people who haven't done it before telling you about how someone else done it completely different than the way that you did it, right? And they use that to put you down, right? I don't know what you do for your living or what you're studying for if you're in school or anything, but imagine if that's what you had to be faced with. And to me personally, what that all just gives is a very much of a coulda, woulda, shoulda energy. And honestly, I think that that's something that we need to kind of die down in the league. I'm here for celebrating feats. I'm here for celebrating greatness while it's here. This is the same thing that LeBron was talking about when he discussed being the GOAT, right? Or being the face of the league, right? Is who would want to be the face of the league when everyone's shitting on you when you do something well? When you put up 83 and the first thing you hear is Kelly Oubre talking shit, Wemby talking shit, Ime Udoka talking shit. The next day you got Stephen A. Of course, he's going to talk some shit, and that's what it's going to be. That is what the lasting feelings for everyone is going to be. Again, I'm not putting down the people on Twitter doing their thing. That's the internet. The internet does everything, but it's on the NBA to strengthen their bond, their fraternity, where they celebrate each one's win so that they understand how much this means for that player and then what it means for the future, right? I think that we need to get back to that. And once we could get back to something like that, I think we can start celebrating some of the greatness that we're seeing, much like we saw on that fateful Tuesday night. All right, well, you tell me what you think about that. Am I spot on with what I think and what I think is a problem that's happening in the NBA? Or am I just blowing some hot steam right now? Let me know in the comments. See you guys. Peace.